for Stratford as he bumps into David Little at the 41-yard line. He'll pick up about 4. Looked like he had a world of room to run, Michael. But Little showed up, and that ended that.
It's an outstanding play by David Little. Again, Marino's content to go with the little swing pass, get a few blockers out in front of the receiver. But David Little, like we said, made an outstanding play to sort his way through and meet up with Troy Stafford again.
Duper goes wide to the left, and James Pruitt, number 82, is to the bottom of your screen. 2nd down and 7. Stratford, a big day, over 110 yards total offense today. 43 on the ground, 68 on the ground, 43 in receptions. The rookie out of Boston College. Marino looking at one receiver, and he's wide open. It's Pruitt at the Steelers' 37-yard line. Sheffield is the man who made the stop with Marino, is now starting to pick him apart.
James Pruitt runs downfield. Marino is looking his way all the way, finds him in a dead zone between Woodruff and Sheffield. And Pruitt just sits down right there, makes the catch, and gets upfield for a few extra yards.
22 yards, first catch of the day for James Pruitt. And now the Dolphins moving on the Steelers. The Steeler defense with 13 interceptions, leading the National Football League, desperately need one now. 28-24 Miami, leading and looking for more. 3 seconds on the 30-second clock, and Danny is mad. Couldn't get Stratford in the right position, had to use a timeout.
Well, he and Bennett are having words as he exits the field to talk to Don Shula, and they're not very happy with each other in that backfield.
Excuse me, Michael, did I just see him say, "my problem"? Were those his words? Maybe it was Marino who was at fault, because I saw after he jawed with Stratford, Woody Bennett said something to him, and I thought I saw Marino go, "my problem." Whatever, timeout. We'll be right back. Well, there's no doubt that's what Danny was saying as he walked off the field and patted his own chest, and he said, "my fault."
Yep.
Back to live action. Marino now with 1st and 10. Short pass to Woody Bennett, trying to get to the 30-yard line, but David Little will have none of that. Little's played a great game. Also in on the play is Keith Yerry, number 92. Shy of the 30-yard line, very short yardage. It'll be 2nd down. Well, it's not so short. Line of scrimmage was the 37. They get the ball down to near the 31. A 6-yard pickup by Marino and his running back, Woody Bennett. 2nd down at 4. Gary Dunn comes off the field. Gerald Williams on at nose guard. Stratford skipping inside the 30 to about the 27. He might be a bit shy of a 1st down. It'll be 3rd down at very short, I believe, for Miami, as they start to work on the clock a little bit. Under 10.5 minutes. Am I reading that right? Exactly 10 minutes to go in the regulation time.
You know, this game is still a long ways away from being over, but it certainly has taken a change in tone. We started out with the Pittsburgh Steelers just dominating the first half of play, and now we've come back to this point to where the Dolphins are doing what they want. Speaking of comebacks, Chicago, you can never count them out.
And the Jets coming back at Indianapolis. We have word that Eric Dickerson has carried the ball 9 times for 32 yards in that ball game and has fumbled once. You be the judge. Not a bad benefit of Eric Dickerson.
That's perfect.
Yes.
That's perfect. They were a little bit short on the 1st down there. It's 3rd down and inches.
Stratford has been the money man today. 13 carries, 71 yards. 52,578 in the building, although they sold more than 62,000 tickets for it. That's why the blackout was lifted here in South Florida. 3rd down and inches, Miami. Play action. Marino wants it all. He didn't get it all, but he's got Pruitt for a 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Delton Hall had the coverage, but Pruitt got himself free. Great play action pass by Marino.
That just goes to show that the Dolphins don't think this game is over yet, because they want to put another one on the board. They run a play action fake in there. Wasn't a very good fake, but everybody was so crowded in there, it gave James Pruitt a chance to break over the middle and be wide open. The Steelers obviously were playing the run.
This is the 24th time that Dan Marino has thrown for over 300 yards in a game. What a day he's had. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. His team leads at 28-24. Stays on the ground. Stratford touchdown. Miami
now. They still have over 9 minutes to play. The way that Pittsburgh has played the first half and maybe part of the second, they still have an opportunity to come back, but they have to stay within their game plan and get back in there. Troy Stafford, watch these moves. Little skeeter bug moving in there to the right, to the left, and then straight up the middle, underneath everybody, basically, for the touchdown.
Great blocking up front. Tom Toth, the right guard. Dwight Stevenson, maybe the best center in the game. Roy Foster, the left guard. Made it easy for Stratford, who dived the rest of the way in. Reve's kick is up and good, and the Miami Dolphins have outscored the Pittsburgh Steelers 28-3 here in the third quarter and a little bit of the fourth quarter. Went into the locker room trailing 21-7. I would pay a king's fortune to hear what Don Shula had to say there, because they certainly have turned it around. Their playing field fantasies become reality on the best of sports fantasies. San Diego Chicken Lady makes an appearance, and has Chris Evert finally met her match? We'll learn on NBC Sports World next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time, right here on NBC. It is 35-24 Miami.
Some of these fans are very confident in what their Dolphins can do, because some of them have started to pack it up and take it home for now.
Stratford with the running touchdown. His first National Football League touchdown. 63 yards on the ground, 46 receiving. A very impressive rookie out of Boston College in a fourth-round draft choice. Dwight Stone at the 12. 25-yard line is all he gets. Stopped there by Scott Nicholas. And I must say, the Dolphins special teams has been a pleasant surprise to Don Shula today. The Steelers have had inordinately more success on returns than they have had today during the course of this year.
Well, anytime you get the big plays like you're getting with the Dolphins offense right now, it's got to inspire your special team. They've got to come down and be more fired up than at the start of the game. And that's why they're getting down so anxiously right now.
So to say that Mark Malone and the Steeler offense has its work cut out for it would be an understatement. They're down by 2 scores, 11 points. 8:51 to play in regulation, and Jackson runs the ball to the 28-yard line. It's what they do best, but it certainly is not the kind of offense for catch-up football.
That goes back to our meeting last night, Sam, when we were sitting with the PR director from the Steelers, and we asked him point blank, what would happen if you guys got behind? Are you set up to come from behind? And he said, quite frankly, no, we're not. That's why they got out to that great lead at the start of the game. They want to be out in front.
Second down, 7, gain of 3. Not a banner day for Jackson, who did not have a big week last Sunday against Cincinnati, rushing for only 39 yards. Complete to Abercrombie up across the 35. He will be close to a first down. It depends on the spot. But the Steelers not only battling the Dolphins, which I think they probably can do. The Dolphins have done nothing today defensively to indicate that they can't be scored on a couple of more times. But there's a Steeler offense geared to scoring 2 touchdowns and then stopping Marino.
If Malone can get the ball to his receivers, if he follows through with his passing motion, then he's going to get the ball there. And if he can do that, he's going up against one of the poorest pass defenses in the league. The Dolphin defense ranks number 23 overall.
27th. They're second to last, Michael. They're second to last in the league.
Second to last in pass defense, overall defense, yes. And they're ranked number 23rd. They're 16 against the run. So the Steelers can run against them, but if they can pass, they'll have even more effectiveness against them.
As you saw, less than a yard, 2 tight ends, Danzel Lee, 84, and Theo Young, number 80. Young is a rookie out of Arkansas, taken on the 12th round. Made the team. They cut Lee. Then Lee they hired back as a replacement player, and he now starts ahead of Theo Young, who beat him in training camp. You figure it out. Third and less than a yard. That's Young. And that's Jackson. And that's a first down to the 38-yard line, maybe the 39. Offerdahl and Langford making the stop.
I still say the Steelers are more effective. They're getting more yardage if they run straight up the field as opposed to going towards the sidelines. All they're doing there is wasting a little bit of time that they don't really have at this point in the game, and taking the opportunities or the chance that they may fumble the ball.
7:15 to go in regulation time, 35-24 Miami. The Steelers led 21-7 at the half, believe it or not. Wide open and out of bounds, stopping the clock. Calvin Sweeney, a first down inside the 50-yard line at about the Miami 47.
I think what's going on now is the Steelers are finally hearing what we're saying, that you can pass against this other team, guys. You can go out there and you can throw the ball. They're ranked number 27. Calvin Sweeney catches the ball on the sideline. There's nobody 3 yards close to him.
Paul Langford made that play, but John Offerdahl has made 9 tackles in his first game of the season, and you wonder how this defense even survives without him. Might be procedure. Looked like Abercrombie was leaning as Jackson takes the ball straight ahead on the dive, stopped by Mike Lambrecht, number 69, a free agent, and one of the 3 replacement players who is dressed today. Is there a flag? There is indeed, and it's got to be motion by Abercrombie.
You know, one person we haven't seen
illegal motion, number 34, defense. Still offense, correction, offense. Still first down.
Abercrombie just a little bit too anxious. You'll see him at the top right of your screen. He's not set for that 1 full second before the ball is snapped. As I was going to say before we started this, Mark Brown is filling in for Hugh Green, and we haven't seen Hugh at all this week. He's on the sideline. He is healthy, but they've decided that he's not got the speed and mobility that they need right now.
First down and 15 now for Pittsburgh. Malone pumps. Lets it fly. Got a man. Tipped and almost caught. It was intended for Lockett. Bud Brown was back there and may have gotten a hand on it. It was tipped by somebody for sure.
It was tipped by William Judson.
49.
And he made a diving save. They're just going down there. Judson's got they both have their eye on the ball all the way.
No,
that was
indeed.
That was Brown, wasn't it? They switched places when they hit the ground.
Well, we got a great spotter over here, Bo McComas. He doesn't miss a trick. I want to tell you that. I'm sitting there screaming Judson with you, and he's got his finger on Bud Brown. He knew all along.
Oh, there's one disappointed man, Charles Lockett.
2nd and 15. Over the middle, drop this time by Abercrombie. And he had some running room.
He definitely had first down yardage in front of him, and Offerdahl was on the coverage there.
Yeah, his teammates are congratulating him, but Offerdahl did nothing there to save the play. If Abercrombie had caught the ball, I have a feeling he might have gotten away for a sizable gain.
He sure would have.
So on 3rd and 15 now, the Steelers really with their backs to the wall. 6.5 minutes to play in regulation. They're down by 11. Malone is 15 out of 28, 132 yards.
He's put a couple of the last passes right on target. It's just his receivers have dropped one, and the other one was knocked away at the last moment.
This is not an ideal conversion situation for 3rd down. They got him. Fumble. Steelers have the ball, but it won't be for long because on 4th down they'll have to kick it away. T.J. Turner is the man who jarred him and knocked the ball loose.
That's the 11th sack of the year for the defense. And it came at a big time for them. Malone is dropping back. T.J. is coming from the outside, gets around his man, crushes the quarterback. Craig Wolfley comes back, lays on the ball, but all that does is give the Steelers a chance to punt it away.
So Newsom will have to punt from his own 30-yard line, and again, Scott Schwades, the former Syracuse lad, who's got to be enjoying what happened yesterday, being part of a situation that beats Pittsburgh teams twice in 2 days. His Syracuse team beat the Pitt Panthers yesterday, and his Miami Dolphins have a grab on the Steelers' throat right now. Good punt by Newsom. Over Schwade's head and into the end zone it goes. It'll be a touchback. And a punt of 57 yards by Newsom. My math is any good? As we check the 10-minute ticker again, and those games have gotten close, haven't they?
They certainly have. Chicago down by 4. The Raiders down by 3 now.
Bills have finally gotten on the board, but that one is all but over. Indianapolis hanging in there against the Jets. Tampa Bay looks like they're going to beat Green Bay. Houston has put one on the board, trying to make Cincinnati a close one. New Orleans, apparently the only sizable rout of the day. Philadelphia and St. Louis getting closer. Marino will begin from his own 20-yard line, and he'll probably try to work on the clock with 5:53 to go in this one. 35-24, the Dolphins. Stratford for about 2 in the grasp of David Little.
David Little still trying to get to the ball. What the Steelers need to do right now is start to reach for that ball, try to strip it out of all the ball carriers' hands. They need a turnover, and if they can get a turnover at this end of the field, then we've got another new game.
It's starting to rain here a little bit. It has rained off and on, and the wind has just been something that's played havoc with the football on occasion. Marino has finally mastered it here in the second half, though I think it's safe to say that.
He certainly has.
2nd down and 8, Miami. On a delay, Stratford is loose in the secondary. 1st down up around the 35. David Little again. And the Steelers look to be a beaten football team with under 5 minutes to play. You know, I came into this broadcast today already. As you look at it again, I'll hold off, Michael. Go ahead.
Troy Stafford gets the trap block again, breaks it to the outside. He's got some good blocking in front of him. And he's only 1 step away from breaking this for a touchdown. And you see that step is made by David Little. He saves the touchdown there. His numbers on the day: 83 yards rushing, 46 receiving, 139 with 1 touchdown. That's not bad.
No, not at all for a rookie out of Boston College, and there's more.
He's adding more.
5,
he may have 6 this time.
He'll break this one big. He goes down under Dwayne Woodruff, who's just shy of the 50-yard line. But what a day for Troy Stratford. Lorenzo Hampton's got some problems getting his starting job back again, I can tell you that.
He may never get him back. The most impressive thing about this is not the cut that he makes right here, which is an outstanding cut. That one is too, but watch when he gets to the sideline. He just lays down so he doesn't go out of bounds. He doesn't want that clock to stop. He lays down and the clock keeps running.
Cornell Gowdy has come in to replace Chris Sheffield at strong safety for the Steelers. Stratford over 100 yards now in rushing the football. It is 1st down Miami right on the 50-yard line, and the Dolphins appear to have this one fairly well salted away. Bennett for about a yard. I started to say a moment ago, Michael, I came into this broadcast prepared to tell all the people back in Western Pennsylvania about the Pittsburgh connection. You know, Marino, born and raised, parents still live in Oakland section of the city, went to Pitt. Tom Brown went to Pitt, brother of John Brown, who played with Marino at Pitt. Joel Williams out of Gateway High School, lives in Monroeville. Hugh Green, the former Pitt All-American. Lippert Hobley cut by the Steelers. The only guy who's been a factor in the game has been Marino. Brown got hurt early. Williams didn't dress. Green hasn't played. Hobley hardly has played. So I had to get it in, so I got it in. I feel better.
Now all you Pittsburgh people know that these guys are at least here somewhere.
Right, 2nd down and 6. Stratford. And only a trip by David Little prevented a big, big play.
David Little's been in on the last 3 or 4 plays. He's still playing his heart out, but right now it's to no avail. The Steelers are, like you say, they feel like they're a beaten team, and right now they are. And that's too bad because they played their hearts out today.
Valuable lesson. I mean, you've heard it 100 times. I hate to be trite, but football happens to be a game made up of 2 halves. The Steelers played 1 half and did not play another. And Miami, the same situation. They did not play well at all in the 1st half, but they have put a 2nd half together here that they can be proud of. Offensively and defensively, Stratford without much. Cornell Gowdy blitzing on the play, caught him behind the line of scrimmage, and this will take us down to the 2-minute warning. Well, the Dolphins walked off the field last Sunday shell-shocked. They had led 21-0 or 21-3 at the half, only to give it all away in the 2nd half and lose in overtime to Buffalo. They played a horrible 1st half here against Pittsburgh today, but they have made amends with a brilliant 2nd half, and when they walk off today, you can rest assured there will be no boos. We'll be back. We are back for the final 2 minutes of this one as you look at Danny Marino on the sideline. The Steelers will get the football back again as Reggie Roby is on to punt the football. And in single safety is Thomas Everett, and this is the first punt of the day and the first punt of the season for Reggie Roby. This has got to be some kind of record. Punting for the first time in the game in the last 2 minutes of it?
I've never heard of that.
Reggie Roby, who suffered an injury in the opener on his first punt, a sprained right ankle, never got the punt off, is now punting for the first time this season. It's remarkable. They've turned it over a few times, and the Dolphins have either turned the ball over or they've scored points on all of their possessions.
It's not a bad way to play the game, I guess.
Roby almost had it blocked. skied one, got off an excellent punt. That'll do a lot for his confidence, and even got a Miami bounce. How about that? It was headed for the end zone, and so an interesting commentary on the end of this game. A ball that was dead headed for the end zone took a left turn and came back and died at the 9-yard line of Pittsburgh, and the Steelers will have to go 91 to get another touchdown on the board.
So when it rains in Miami, at least, it pours for the Dolphins.
Indeed it does. 34 yards for Roby, but that isn't the important thing. The important thing to him is that he got one off and he hit it good. He had shanked some in practice yesterday, and there was some concern. They
were saying he was a little bit shaky in practice, and this will go a long way to improve his confidence in his punting.
So Malone now trying to drive his team the length of the field on a delay to Abercrombie, and there's a world to run in there. 15, he's tripped up from behind as he crosses the 15 to about the 18-yard line. William Judson, number 49, I think, trapped him from behind, and the clock continues to run. 1:35 to go.
The Steelers just aren't set up to come from behind too many times. I think last week they came from behind, but they may have used it up.
Malone throwing one out in the flat at the 20 for the first down. The catch is made, and Stallworth trying to get out of bounds, and he can't get there. Renee Thompson, a second-year man from Baylor, number 24, holding on for dear life. And now the Steelers stop the clock with 1:11 to go. And Malone will go over and have a chat with both Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator, and head coach Chuck Noll. And we'll be back in a minute. See, the Steelers have 2 timeouts left. The Dolphins have no reason to stop the clock. And while we have a moment, let me thank our excellent support crew here in Miami. Our spotters, Bob McComas and Terry Brumfield. Great job, gentlemen. Mean it. Thanks a lot. And our statistician, Ken Lee. And of course, Michael, if I was doing a report card on your broadcasting debut, I'd give you an A today. I'll tell you that. You did a heck of a job, partner.
Thank you, Sam. I had one of the best in the business working with me and tutoring me all the way through, and you have been one great asset to myself. I appreciate it.
Sounds like we rehearsed that one.
Yeah, we did. We got that right at least, huh?
Yeah. A little saccharine to me. From the 22-yard line. Abercrombie at the 30. Has some running room. Cross the 35. Another Steeler first down. He goes down in the grasp of backup linebacker David Fry, number 53, and the clock continues to run. Steelers can stop it twice more in their 2-minute offense.
They're going to try to put a score up on the board.
Caught short by Hodge at the 50-yard line, and he will have another Steeler first down, and the Steelers quickly call a timeout, I believe, and stop the clock with 42 seconds to play. They have 1 timeout left. Well, if you're looking for a most valuable player today, that doesn't seem to be a lot of question, at least in my mind. You want to vote first?
I think we have to go with Dan Marino.
Can we get the final stats on Marino? I don't think the audience needs it to be justified, but it is time indeed for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser, and today's MVP is number 13, Danny Marino. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVP selected in today's games.
Marino was 25 of 31 for 332 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. So Dan Marino had himself one heck of a day today. Started out kind of shaky, though. Then
his leadership ability is almost as large as his talent, as his natural God-given talent.
Yes.
And he just seems like he can walk off the field down 21-7 like he did. And if you're playing with him, you just know that he can bring you back. And a few words from number 13, and they get themselves righted. There's a courageous quarterback, Mark Malone. Gone through a very, very tough week in Pittsburgh, but thank God all's turned out well with his wife, and he's still pitching them. He's got a first down at the 27-yard line to Stallworth, and the Steelers can stop the clock one more time, and they do with 34 seconds to play.
Now, if they get into the end zone in the next, say, 10 seconds, we still have another chance that they may come back and get an onside kick, because it's obvious they're going to do that and have at least one more shot at winning this game. This game is not over yet.
They are at the 26-yard line. You would have to think Malone's got to get one in here now, recover the onside kick, and make a sideline completion and give Anderson at least a chance at tying field goal.
Well,
or at a winning field goal, I beg your pardon. They lead by 11.
No, they need 2 touchdowns.
What am I talking about?
The Dolphins are by 11.
24. That's right. 10 won't do you any good.
But they have a shot at it.
My man has suffered here today, hasn't
a little bit. But if they get into the end zone on this next play, then they do have an excellent chance of getting and recovering an onside kick and then going for at least 2 bombs after that. But they can't afford to have the ball stopped in the middle of the field.
Malone 17 out of 32, 199 yards. His stats look better, but don't forget a lot of this has been made against the prevent defense when the outcome of the game was pretty much taken care of. Yeah, a field goal won't do him much good here, will it? Malone has time over the middle. It's incomplete. Well, let's take our time out for our report card check of how these teams did today. The Dolphins report card, you got to give Marino an A+ today. He really brought him back 25 out of 31. Threw the ball effectively in the first half percentage-wise. Just didn't get him in the end zone but once. And Stratford, of course, had an outstanding afternoon, 158 yards total offense. And for the Steelers, Malone, leadership looked good in the first half. Stats a bit inflated. Abercrombie, not a good day. Stallworth, 1 reception today. He's a negative on the report card. Turnovers were a factor, of course, early on for the Steelers. The defense did the job. There's a completed pass to Calvin Sweeney to the 5-yard line. And the clock continues to run. The Steelers still try to get off another play. Line of scrimmage is a 5-yard line.
You've got to get it in on this play.
Malone throws it into the ground and stops the clock, and that is perfectly legal this year with 10 seconds left. So they'll come out and have time for at least one more play. And I think the only thing that people around the country would be concerned about now is the spot on the game, I guess. 7 points. Will it end less or more than 7, as they say?
Well, I think it's going to end less than 7. But nonetheless, this game is still not over. I know it seems like it's an optimistic view that I'm taking right now with 10 seconds left. But if they get in the end zone on this play, they have a shot at recovering an onside kick.
As a player, is it not important to at least finish the game off in a losing cause with a touchdown?
Oh, yes, it is.
Helps you for next week.
It's very important.
Malone has time, throws it. It's incomplete. He'll have time for another off the fingertips of Calvin Sweeney. That'll stop the clock with 5 seconds. Sweeney was shy of the end zone, and had he caught it, perhaps he wouldn't have gotten in anyway.
I think now you can say that it is over, but you would still like to get into the end zone with 5 seconds left and say, well, time just ran out on us.
Well, this will get Miami back to 500, or get them within 1 game of 500 at 3-4, and move the Steelers to just 1 game over 500 at 4-3. Here is your last play of the game. Incomplete. Clock expires. There's no time left. Malone says there was 1 second left and I want my last play, but he won't get it. Don Shula headed for Chuck Noll.
Actually, Shula was headed after one of the referees because the left tackle for the Steelers moved on that play and he didn't call it.
In Indianapolis, with their new running back, Eric Dickerson, is held on to beat the New York Jets today, 19-14. That game, we are told, is a final. So Dickerson already having an effect is Noll and Shula. Longtime friends, 2 of the most respected coaches in the NFL. Exchange congratulations, and Danny Marino's got a lot of friends. He and Mark Malone, arm in arm, headed off the field. They had a lot in common last week. Both were booed. Both suffered the indignation of their fans. But, of course, there's a lot and Tunch Ilkin, might I add, and Danny Marino are friends by virtue of the fact that they're very active in the Players Association. Michael, you know a lot about that relationship with both players.
I still do. I'm still active on the Players Executive Committee, and we're still in the process of trying to get a collective bargaining agreement reached with the owners. But back to this game. You know, both of those quarterbacks, like you said, were booed last week. They didn't play up to par last week. This week they came out and both put on a nice show. Marino didn't play very well in the first half. On the other hand, Mark Malone had an outstanding first half in leading his team to that 21-7 lead at halftime. And in the second half, things fell apart for the Steelers.
And the Dolphins contended, even though they were 2-4 and last place in the AFC East for the first time in 18 years that Don Shula's been the head coach down here. They've never had sole possession of the cellar. But they contended they were only 1 game out of first place.
In reality, they were.
Everybody else was
2-4. That's right. They were 2-4, and everybody was 3-3. No matter how you slice it, you're only 1 game out of first place. And right now, they're starting to get back into contention. They're starting to feel good about it.